another episode of Kyoto by Night, The Second Breath. We pick up with Tomo-san from his previous scene where his Po got the better of him and went on a bender. So we left off with Yoshi leading some prey back to his place for feeding. So please tell us, Yoshi, what went on? What did he leave, or what state did he leave the two of them in prior to the sun rising?
Well, I wouldn't have gained consciousness until the following night, so this would still be the evil twin, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Well, still a conscious. He's not a reckless fellow. He's just too fun-loving. So I'm pretty sure he put the security guards in check, and I'm guessing he would have made sure he would have left the room as is, which is pretty much immaculate, except for probably the sleeping area, and the door would have been locked.
Okay.
With a couple of security things, but considering the night and the debauchery, they might not want to feel like moving till later in the evening anyway.
So you're resting the day in a separate room from where they passed out, or?
I hadn't exactly thought of the special area as having a separate area, but I'm guessing, given he doesn't want to cause too much of a freak out, he'd probably there's to keep up appearances. There's a bathroom and probably a closet. Evil twin probably would have went in the closet and hid.
Okay, make a hun roll for me, please.
Okay, that's 4. Boom, boom.
Okay. Okay, so, yeah. So when you wake up the following night, then, you, let's just put a check here instinctively. Okay, so what was your chi levels at when you started hunting there?
Oh, let's see here. The fact is, we went after Yang because I was one Yang down, and my Yin was up to full 3.
Okay.
So.
All right, and you were black cycled, correct? Because we had discussed that previously. So,
Right.
you will still awaken. It'd still be within the same time period. You will probably have an extra. Let's have me guesstimate. Let's take a look. You will have 1 extra yin and 4 extra yang in your system.
Oh. When you say 4 extra, does that mean I'd
Above,
have...
yeah, above your max.
Okay, so I'd actually consumed 5 yen, or
Yeah.
yang last night. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. 1, 2.
And you are in a state of imbalance.
This is unpleasant. Okay.
And yeah, you're feeling a little quite unsettled, actually. The warmth of the yang qi burning through your body. Kind of got a semi-hazy memory of the events of the night that led to you waking up in your closet.
Okay. Gonna make a dex stealth roll to look out the window or not window, the door, and see what my room's like.
Yeah, for sure.
So that'll be 5 dice. Two successes.
Okay, so yeah, you managed to prop the door open and take a peek through, and you do not see anyone in the on the bed that you normally rest in. You can make a perception alertness.
Okay. 5 as well. Come on. Oh, okay. 4 successes.
Okay, you can hold sounds coming from the bathroom.
It cut out a little. What type of sounds?
They're muffled. It
Okay.
sounds like you can hear some whimpering and
Okay. I get the general idea of what you're trying to say. So there are 2 women with a hangover. So he'll quickly try and dress and then get together some water bottles. Probably some that his retainer keeps around the 2nd floor.
so you head out to go get some water bottles.
Well, without trying to make as little noise as possible, but yes, after getting dressed.
Okay, you make another dex stealth roll.
Four successes.
Okay, so yeah, you managed to slip out. Where do you head?
The little mini fridge by my retainer's desk. I grab about 4 bottles, and then I head back to my room.
Okay. What do you do once you get back there?
Well, if they're still in the bathroom, I'm going to wait and remembering my cold skin when they finally exit, I'm going to at least warm it up, but not change my power or anything. And wait a minute, does life sight doesn't require a roll to activate, correct?
Expenditure of the Yang Chi to activate life sight, and then it's
what'd you say? After it's
after it's activated, then there's rolls that you make to make use of it, but otherwise, no, it's
okay.
not.
Yeah, so I'll activate life sight to use that, and then I'll, because they'll probably want to interact with me, I'll also warm my body.
Okay. Make another perception alertness roll.
Okay. 3 successes.
But nobody's emerging from the washroom yet.
You kind of cut out, so all I heard was nobody's emerging from the washroom yet.
Yes, you hear muffled whimpering and a little bit of movement, but nobody's come out of the room yet.
Because of that, I'm going to take a peek into the bathroom and see what's up.
Okay.
Just trying to look over the corner and not to draw attention to myself.
Okay, make another dex stealth. This one's going to be difficulty 7.
Oh dear. I guess I step on something.
Okay. You go to open it a crack and you actually hit one of them with the door.
Ow.
The whimpering sounds are much less muffled. You can see that to ensure that they didn't get away or stumble across you, that your alter ego was kind enough to tie them up with their hands holding each other around the bottom of the toilet bowl. So they're laying on the floor, and they've been trying to quietly undo their bonds. You can see marks along their wrists where they've been unsuccessful in doing so, and have a shirt tied around their mouths, which is why their speaking's been muffled.
I'm not going to be able to explain this unless I say it really was some sort of really kinky sex game, but that usually happens during, not after. I'm trying to remember, how wasted did we exactly get, and what's the chances that they don't remember anything until they woke up this morning?
You can make a hun roll.
Okay.
difficulty 9 to see how much specifics that you can make out of the blur.
Apparently not.
Do you own any pharmaceuticals that would put your alter ego in a position to be able to induce any kind of blackouts like that?
I'd probably keep Tylenol and maybe if some pain medication to keep up appearances of actual,
Okay.
you know, this is the secret lair of a living person, not an undead being.
But you wouldn't have had like
Herpes?
Rufalin on hand or anything to assist in. So yeah,
No.
there's probably a good chance that there's a good chance they probably recall last night better than you.
Damn it. Killing them would seem like such a waste. But then again, if I let them go, they'll probably go screaming their heads off. Um, Would I know of anyone with the discipline that might make them forget what they know?
You can make a, let's say,
An intelligence. I didn't catch the other one.
and occult.
Okay. That's something I have. Yes. That'd be 6. Oh, why are you effing with me, dice? Oh, 1 success.
Okay. And then the wits occult.
Wits occult as well? Okay. Five. 1 success again.
Okay. Let me just check here. Social role. You can pretty much guess. You wouldn't really. Such an ability isn't a common discipline or ritual, so it would kind of be a wild guess on your part.
Okay. Let's see here. Now, covering the obligations, that would be on the thing here.
So what? Both of them are like look scared with you standing over them.
Uh, Crap, I didn't need to just sit there and think. I was going to go in the other room. Sorry, I didn't say that. Well, I think with no, not the trying to think if all right. Obedience. I have to be obedient to the ancestors. Is there anything about them having to help me?
You're trying to think of a way to try to call a favor, or
I'm trying to think if obviously there's some sort of Quajian don't want non-Quajian knowing about stuff like this. So, and this would probably be hard on the Quajian society. So I'm trying to figure out, as I remember it, this is something that an Eastern facing Quajian might help someone get rid of.
okay. As well, I mean, this is the aftermath of Shadow Soul, so perhaps somebody who is in tune with their Poe might have a little experience on how to deal with this situation, if you're thinking along those lines as well.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the only person I know with ties along that part are someone in that the tiger. What do you call that? The sort of the martial part ancestor.
Yeah, the first Oni, the Devil Tiger.
Yeah. I guess. Do I know where he stays?
You would know how to get in touch with him.
Okay. All right. I'll close the door and would I call him by phone or do I have to meet him in person? Something like this.
You asked if you could contact him by phone.
Yeah. Or
you would have a contact number for his offices to get in touch with his retainer.
okay. Then I'll pull out my cell phone and just one thing. Since I didn't lose myself completely to the Shadow Soul, how much I know Eastern societies are a lot about saving face. How much is a little loss of control? How much face loss is that?
You could put either wits politics or wits etiquette.
All right, probably going to go wits etiquette. Because I think I have more of that than politics. Yeah, lots more. I have no politics. Well, the way the rolls are going, this won't matter much. Okay, it's a little bit better. 3 successes.
Okay, well, you're contained. It wasn't public. You've contained the problem, and and you're young, you're new. It's ancestor or somebody of importance, so you're kind of expected to have fuck ups like this.
Okay. Then I'll call the retainer and try and see if I can set up a meeting.
Okay. Yeah, his secretary says that you'd be able to come later in the evening, say about an hour after midnight.
Okay. I'm thinking about how to phrase it. Should I bring them or should I just bring up the problem? All right, I'll just bring up the problem with him. Um, from what I saw, they're bounds. Is there any way they're going to get loose unless someone lets them go?
Uh, well, yeah, you look like you did a pretty good job of detaining them. So, yeah, they're not going to get away.
Okay. Um, I'll turn around and close the bathroom door and then close the other main door, lock it from the outside on both locks, and then I'll tell my retainer he is under no circumstances to go in the room at all.
Okay. He understands.
All right, and if a ruckus does start to be made, he's tried to make sure no one else notices it.
Okay. And you go straight to your
Appointment, yes.
okay. Then uh, and you're led in. It's actually the edge of town, and the state probably isn't quite the right word for it, but it is a very nice place. This guy's got money, and he's not afraid to show it. Um, walking across the yard, and what you call it's the yard and the entryway to the house looks very calm and serene, almost unsettlingly so.
Okay.
And when you are led in by his servants, they take you to a drawing room, which has several little pieces of artwork hanging on the walls.
Okay. Um, is it a more Western or Eastern type of office? Like, will I be sitting on the floor for that type of thing?
You can make a yeah, no, actually, it's a modern Asian chic. So it's kind of like a westernized version of a old Japanese estate.
Okay.
You can make a Wits Academics,
good. I bought some of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Successes. 4 successes.
Okay. It's from judging from the what you know of him and of the decor. He's probably the youngest of the ancestors. It actually feels like a genuine appreciation for the aesthetics and not not somebody just trying to be modern or just happen to buy a modern looking house. It seems to be done with care. The paintings at first glance don't seem to be anything really out of the ordinary. One's of like an orchard. One is looks like the house. However, the second glance, there's little like almost like Easter eggs hidden in the paintings. Almost the forest one. If you look at it long enough, you can kind of see where there's like in the background of the forest, there's leering faces in the darkness, the way the paint is swirled. The only thing that doesn't seem to have anything obviously creepy is just one painting that just seems to be of a living room. You can't see anything unnerving about it, but there's just something disturbing. Maybe it's the angles of the room, but just something doesn't quite seem right on it.
I think I could figure out what's up with the. I was going to say, you think I could figure out what's up with the painting with the intelligence enigma?
Yeah, an intelligence enigma with difficulty 7.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My dice say no.
Okay. So as you're sitting there trying to figure out, you hear a voice behind you. That's the most recent of the paintings. Something about it just speaks deep inside, like a memory of a darker time.
Yes. Something about it. Nothing obvious. Something subtle. I wish I could figure it out. Anyway, after that comment, he'll turn around and bow. I hope I'm not disturbing your evening, honorable ancestor. Have we hit a technical issue? I can't hear you. I heard some clicking.
You got me now?
Yes.
Okay. He is wearing like a pretty normal, subdued looking suit, but he's got a bright red silk shirt underneath with gold tigers embroidered on it. When you refer to him as honored ancestor, he actually visibly laughs at that. Please, you don't need to grovel and lick my boots. We're not in court. and I'm not one for putting on airs.
I usually just do it out of habit. It's good for when there are those who do. Anyway, I have a problem. Hopefully you have advice or an idea of how to solve it.
Oh, you're seeking actual advice. Well, I have
No.
many guesses, a wild imagination on what you could be trying to seek, but please enlighten me.
Last night, after a conversation with a rather disgruntled spirit, my code took the opportunity to exert itself a little, and it's made a situation that I am not normal with dealing with. I have two individuals in my bathroom held captive, and unfortunately, I don't think I could let them go without causing a mess. And if I were to dispose of them, I am not sure I could get rid of the evidence.
Well, I slipped the leash that you try to place on him, eh? If you don't let him out to play, he's going to get the better of you eventually. You need to come into an agreement with each other so situations like this don't happen.
I will take that matter of advice in mind. Of course, I'm not going to talk with him until the situations he made me has been dealt with.
Okay. That is wise. If you need assistance in having a safe area to have your dialogue, feel free to make an appointment to come back. It is best if the two of you find a common ground that you can have similar goals so you aren't working at opposite ends. But anyway, so the individuals you have, you are uncertain as to what to do with them.
No, if he'd if he'd not tied them up in the bathroom, I assume I was thinking I could just pass off the evening as oh, I tied on a couple and I didn't wake up until the evening, but he's made that impossible.
Well, you know, there is a way for you to dispose of them without any evidence. And he kind of cocks an eyebrow.
And he's thinking to himself, if I were to kill them, the bodies would probably be discovered eventually. I can't think of a way that wouldn't lose some sort of evidence.
You could make a perception empathy roll.
Okay. And I think I'll have one, but yeah. So 4 die. Oh, yay, my dice have stopped hitting me. Alright, 3 successes.
He's quite obviously actually hinting that you could consume the evidence, and therefore there'd be no bodies to find.
I guess bones wouldn't float up, but still. I understand what you're saying, but people have been accused of being in league with Yoni for less.
Well, I'm just checking. You hear rumors that those that delve too closely with their chi, either black or scarlet, tend to gain distasteful appetites. Plus, I wasn't sure how enlightened you were. Very well then. What is it that you propose or ask of me?
Well, I wouldn't want to presume, but given your Dharma's line, usually they either have a use for people or are good at making people disappear. I thought perhaps you could find a use for them, or and then when you're done, make them disappear.
And why is it you came to me, of House Genji, an outsider to your city, instead of going to your own ancestors? I know we are of the same court, but this seems to be a unusual case of solidarity for such an issue.
It just seemed like matter you'd be more understanding. The Poe slipping the yoke, and of course, the other dharmas, the only others of your dharma I've met seem to have criminal ties, so I thought maybe you'd know if could give them to them, or might have your own purpose.
Very well. I will assist you in this matter, Tomoe Yoshi. And let's say there will be a time where you can repay the favor for now.
Very well. I understand of course, in these nights, a quid pro quo is necessary. And
Very
often
well.
expedient.
I will, he texts something, and is there anything else that you can think of that you need assistance?
No. Oh, there's one thing. I was going to report it to someone else of the court, but since I met you first, I believe from what I can recollect, my pro encountered uh, please connect my pronunciation if I get this wrong, a chimney or darn it, chimari or a him.
Ah, really? Well then, just such a creature.
Wait a second, get cut out.
Such a creature would bring a lot of inauspicious activity to your life until it is brought into proper civilization. If you
Yes,
learn more about him, please share.
I will. Um, do you have any advice if I do encounter him on capture?
Capture if you can. The longer he is out there, the more dangerous he could be. But capture him and then bring him here so that we can civilize him, help him get control.
Very well.
And as I said, feel free to come here for neutral ground for your discourse to find balance in your life. The door opens behind and two individuals come in. These two will drive you back home and will assist in removing your problem. I'll get you to make a perception occult roll on these two guys.
Okay.
Difficulty will be 6.
All right. Let's see. All right. Oh no, it's not a 6. It's a 5. Son of a... No.
All right. So the two guys, they look a little surly is probably the best way to put it. They don't really talk much, even amongst themselves. When they lead you to the car, they kind of look at each other and grunt at each other, but don't really articulate very well. They look okay, but they seem pretty brutish in their mannerisms. But they drive you home, and they follow you for you to lead them inside, presumably.
Um, the library is empty except for my retainer, yeah? Right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take them to a back door and ask them to wait. I'll go to the I'll go and ask my retainer to wait upstairs and cover the stairs up. And then I'll enter the room and look inside the bathroom.
Okay. The two of them are still there,
Okay.
laying on the ground, sobbing.
I'll look at the bonds. Does it look like they are their hands and feet are both kept locked, right?
Their hands, just the position, they can't really get good traction with their feet to be able to do anything. So, but just their
Okay.
hands are bound.
I'll
You can hear the two grunting from the room behind you.
yeah, they're gonna have to deal with this. I don't have enough strength to control two women. So yeah, I'll turn around to go. They're in here.
The two of them trudge into the room. One of them pulls out a knife to cut the bonds. They are strong enough that your prey are not able to resist as they get picked up, and they do struggle and they go to leave. You can do a perception empathy roll for me.
Oh, which one was it?
Perception empathy.
All right, 2, 3, 1.
Okay. So yeah, so they're grunting to each other as they bring the girls out. They're having them held in such a way that they're not able to break the grip, and they can't be heard. They're being muffled pretty well. They bring them out and toss them in the trunk, and don't even acknowledge you as they get back into the car and drive off. And I think we will end the night here. So Tomoe owes a favor to the Genji ancestor of the the Devil Tigers, and but at least he's gotten his problem taken care of without any loss of enlightenment. We will see if these events will plague him again in the future. So until then, everyone, sayonara.